Yo, what is going on, Hustleites? This is the PWHustle. This ain't Black and Brown Throwdown no more. This is the PWHustle. We back in the building. We back for the slums of professional wrestling. We are one man short because the masked man is off in his fucking excursions trying to be a smarter man. He's learning about the world, okay? He's learning about the world. He's going to like Japan. He's going to the tombs of Genghis Khan. He's been to the Great Pyramids of Giza. You know, he's just doing his thing. So me and the professor are going to hold it down. So you know that I am A-Track Brown, and I can't be beat in these mean streets. The PWHustle can't be beat in these mean streets. And the man that I'm about to introduce to you now, the most prolific, the most magnanimous, the scholarly, the most objective, the most effervescent, and the glorious one, the Professor Chabot de la Cruz. What's up, brother?
What's going on, A-Track? What's going on, Hustleites? And the professor can't be beat in these mean streets. And let's be honest here, A-Track. We know what's going on with the masked man. And it happened a couple of days ago. I know he's on his excursions, but he was on Air Force One. He left his pen on the steps, and that's why President Joe Biden fell. Nobody knew that. Nobody is trying to, talk about this right now. Joe Biden fell, but there was a reason, because the PWHustle pens were on the step, and he fell on his ass. Let's just keep it real. We're everywhere.
Yeah, we had the banana peel out there. The forbidden door is open. Yeah, and you got the invisible hand, and from the PWHustle you had the invisible pen, then the invisible banana peel that made fucking Joe fall and stumble. And we said, listen, motherfucker, you better do something about these student loans, or the next fall might be your last. So it is what it is, and we are here because we're going to talk about some shit. We're going to talk about Fastlane that just ended. We're going to talk about the New Japan Cup final that just ended this morning, and the fucking thing that was the earthquake in New Japan that scared the living shit out of me. I'm like, protect Kota Ibushi at all costs. I'm like, get that motherfucker out of there. Why is he still there? But anyway, Fastlane just ended, and Professor, we have to talk about it. So let me hear your thoughts, brother.
Well, you know what? Fastlane is the filler pay-per-view. Let's be real here. I mean, nobody's excited for Fastlane. This is a Monday Night Raw. This is Sunday Night Raw, Track. Let's be honest here. It is Sunday Night Raw. It's
Sunday Night SmackDown. It's a super show. It's a super show.
You're absolutely right. So I'm not going to be here shilling that this is one of the greatest pay-per-views ever. But you know what? There's a couple of matches I liked here. There was certain matches that I was interested in. And of course, certain things we did expect here. We expected the Fiend to make his return, or as I like to call him, the Toxic Avenger. You have him your other name, but he looks like a Toxic Avenger to me. I wanted to see what they would do with Roman and Edge and Daniel Bryan. I think everybody knows that this is going to turn into a triple threat for WrestleMania because it has to be that way. So how did they write it into the motions? Did I like it? It kind of made me confused. Like, how did you want Edge to turn out this way? I didn't like the heel turn. It kind of made it look stupid, but that's just me. But you know what? I knew it was expected to be a triple threat run into WrestleMania. I just didn't like the execution. That's just me. You muted your mic.
I wouldn't say that as much as it's a heel turn as it was him just, saying fuck both y'all. I think in a situation he's the second most hated after Roman. This is most likely going to be a triple threat match. And Daniel Bryan is going to be the favorite going into it, not Edge. But let's talk about these fucking matches, man. What did you like from what you saw? What was your favorite matches, and what was your overall grade on this shit?
But you know what? The one that I actually kind of like caught me off guard, because in a good way. Let me just say this, in a good way, because of my expectations. And you got to, go with me, Track, on this one, because I'm not going to shill here, but you're going to make it. You might have a debate here and there. But for some strange reason, I like Drew McIntyre and Sheamus in the No Holds Barred match.
No,
and you know what?
I'm just shocked that you were shocked by how good it was. Go ahead. I got some thoughts, but go ahead.
I had low expectations for the match, but it was so funny that I looked at this match in a different light because I was like, I looked at this match in two ways. One, I knew that AEW fans were going to compare this to what Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa did. So I was like, okay, I'm going to see that. And we can see the level of violence that the ladies didn't even compare to what the men did, because the ladies gave it on Wednesday on Dynamite. Can't deny that. And then number two, why I liked it, I was like, oh, wait, I'm going to see what Uncle Dave's going to say, because he gave the ladies 4 3/4 stars, and I want to see his excuses on top of excuses, because this match is not going to get more than 3 3/4 stars, maybe 4 stars the most. You know it. I know it. The people know it. The Hustleites know it. It's a sham. It's a scam. It's like election fraud here. Dave Meltzer's going to do election fraud. That's the only thing I'm interested in when the results come in. You know it, and I know it.
Well, here's the thing. I'm surprised that you had low expectations for this match in general. Number one, we've seen these two go at it before. They can fucking brawl, and when they fight, they bring it. They tear the fucking house down. I had no, in any way, shape, or form that I think this match was going to disappoint at all. The only thing going into it was like, oh, this again. Okay, fine. Let's end this, and Drew can go on to Mania and face Bobby Lashley. Now, you can't. You listen. I'm not saying this out of any malice or anything like that. You can't compare this to what we saw on Wednesday. Them bitches was bleeding. These was women using thumbtacks and cutting themselves. When you see women doing that,
I'm just saying that people will compare it and say what they did.
If they do, they're being silly. Like, don't try to make this a comparable thing. Like, no, first of all, I don't ever, and I don't care who feels whatever, but I don't compare women's matches to men's matches. I don't. They're two different genders in that ring, so including Nyla Rose. So I'm not gonna sit here and try to compare the both. Now, if you want to just compare the style of the match in general, well, you can't. This wasn't that. It was a hell of a lot of. That explosion was a hell of a lot better than what we saw at fucking Revolution. I tell you that. The sparks flew here.
I didn't even think about that. That was about the women's lights out match.
Like, now listen, my favorite match. This was my second favorite. I would say that this was the best match, but with an asterisk. Because it was a hardcore, it was a no DQ match, so they got to go all out. But I was digging the shit out of Nakamura versus Seth Rollins, and I was also getting pissed off. I went in thinking that Nakamura was going to win. First of all, I was trying to understand why Cesaro wasn't even in the fucking match. That was the dude he was feuding with. And did I miss something? Did something happen on SmackDown that I didn't see?
No, he's not. He wasn't in the building tonight for Fastlane, and they're gonna save Rollins and Cesaro for WrestleMania.
Okay, all right, that's cool. But when I saw this, I didn't understand why they were even having a match. But I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because when you were sending the card to us, I was looking at it and I said, oh, that's real. I saw that on Google, but I thought it was somebody made it up. And then when you said it, shit, they're really okay. Let's see this.
Nakamura.
The recollection, I don't remember Nakamura and Rollins having a match.
No. Nakamura was defending his friend Cesaro. You know how they do on SmackDown.
Okay.
This was the filler match, so this way they can make
it. It was within the story of Cesaro and Rollins. Yes. Okay. All right. Cool. Praise God.
And by the way, Track. Was it just me? Was that a New Japan Cup kind of match? That looked like a semifinal.
Yo, let me tell you something. If they would have gave him 6 more minutes, that definitely would have been a New Japan Cup style match. Because Nakamura and Seth Rollins were going in. They were doing that shit that Seth Rollins did with the fucking delayed kick when he held his fucking leg back and kicked. I was like, holy shit! I was like, what the fuck? Yo, first of all, to me, that match. 4.5 stars. 4, whatever the fucking final star is before it gets to 5. That's what it is. That's what it is. There you go. 4 3/4. I ain't shit with math. So yeah, 4 3/4. That I love that fucking match. Now, that's how you open up a show. That's how you open up a fucking show. I don't know if, maybe it was just a luck of the draw or what, but I dead ass expected, because I didn't even realize Bobby Lashley wasn't on the card. So I dead ass expected Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan to be first. I really did. So when I saw that this match was first, I was like, okay, whatever. And I enjoyed the shit out of that match. These dudes told a great story. They had good psychology. The movesets they was doing was fucking insane. The moves they were doing it was insane. I loved when Nakamura did that. The first person I ever saw do that was Eli Drake. I saw Eli Drake do that shit. The slide out to the ring, like the power bomb type shit.
Power bomb. I like that.
Yeah, the first person I ever saw do that was Eli Drake. I'm not saying he made it up, but he was the first person I saw do that, and I was like, holy shit, that was incredible. So when Nakamura did it, he did it smooth as hell too, and that shit was great. So the ending happens, and I'm just like, I get it. Seth Rollins came back. This is his character. They're going into this whole shit with Cesaro, especially now that you explain it. It does make more sense. But Nakamura takes another fucking L. And I don't know. I mean, like the reports came out 2 weeks ago that Nakamura was like unhappy or questioning. That was all gimmick shit. That was not real. I didn't believe that at all. He may be on some ain't shit right now in the WWE, but I know he's happy here in the States, so I don't expect that man to go anywhere. Now, could he go to AEW if his contract is up? I could very much see that, especially because they're in Florida. I can see that. The motherfucker can surf all goddamn day. But I don't see him returning to Japan anytime soon. And it's because of that I don't think he's going to be shit in the WWE at all. I'm like, he's done. I don't see anything on the horizon for Nakamura. This doesn't mean I'm not a Nakamura fan. I just don't see anything.
To be fair, Track, I don't know if he resigned. Did he resign? Because he came in 2016. So let's just assume that's a 5-year deal. The 5-year deal from 2016 to 2021. So unless he resigned, I don't know this. I'm just going with my speculation. You could, with the AEW thing and Tony Khan can just throw money at it like no problem to him and his father. So we don't know.
My prediction. Be it AEW or WWE, he's not going back to Japan. It's not happening. I don't see it happening. Not anytime soon. This, like I said, this is the man's dream as far as this atmosphere in itself is concerned. He really likes it here, so I don't see him leaving America. If he does go to AEW, he will be champion. And if he does go to AEW and becomes champion, he's up there in age, but this is fucking Nakamura. This is not like somebody who he didn't have a championship in the fucking States. So yeah, if he went to AEW, they gave him the belt. Good for them. And he wouldn't be a WWE guy either. So let's not start that shit. If he fucking went to AEW when his contract is up, I don't want to hear, they signed another WWE guy. No, they signed a New Japan guy who was just in the WWE for a while. That's it. What other matches did you enjoy?
Well, let's start with what I was a little bit disappointed with. I've been disappointed with the storyline between Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. And since we haven't done a hustle in a while, I'm just going to say my reason why I haven't liked Sasha and Bianca Belair. And I said this on the Hammerlock Hangover podcast. I'll say it here. I didn't like Bianca Belair winning the Royal Rumble. That's just me. That's my take. I thought it was... Yes, let me finish. So we can have a discussion. We can have dialogue. I thought the wrong woman won the Royal Rumble. She didn't need it because it was lazy storytelling. It was lazy booking. They could have made a SmackDown Women's Elimination Chamber match, and she could have won it there and build up certain heat between her and Sasha Banks. I thought it was lazy booking for her to win the Royal Rumble. It affected the SmackDown Women's roster. It affected SmackDown Women's storylines. It affected even Bayley's. I don't want to go into that in detail. That's just my thing. I thought Rhea Ripley should have won the Royal Rumble. That's just me. Number two, since all that has happened with Bianca winning the Royal Rumble, look at what they've done on SmackDown. It's like, wow, it's so bad. Even the Reginald thing, which I find it's funny sometimes. It has its funny moments, but between Bianca and Sasha, there was no chemistry between each other. And you knew that they were not going to win those tag team titles. and they couldn't even build the heat between each other. So going into WrestleMania, it could have been built out of respect between the two ladies, like a Ring of Honor match in my head. But you don't even see that right now. It looks like Mean Girls. It looks like teenage, like Beverly Hills 90210 high school girls trying to fight it out over Dylan. That's the way it looks to me. That's why I've just been a little bit disappointed. So the match was disappointing, and the storyline was disappointing. Go ahead, Track. Say why I'm wrong.
No. The only reason why I think you're wrong about Bianca not winning the Royal Rumble. I think she should have won. This was the best thing they could have done to introduce her character. I don't even think she's winning at Mania. I think Sasha's going to fucking retain. And I think Reginald's probably going to have something to do with it, and she's going to turn full on heel. What I thought they were going to do, what they should have did was go not the original, but the traditional route that they were doing for a while. You know, how it became almost a mini tradition that the challenger and the champion became tag team champions right before WrestleMania. I thought they were going to do that. I knew they weren't going to win the night. But when they started teaming them up, I said, okay, they're going to get the belts, and then they're going to lose them at the pay-per-view before WrestleMania. That's what should have happened. They should have already had the fucking tag team titles. They should have lost them tonight, and they should have started, going off on each other tonight. I am in total agreement with you that this build has been fucking trash. It has been terrible. It started off kind of cool, like I said. There was some promise there. I'm with you with the Reginald thing, too. In the beginning, I thought that shit was hilarious. I thought his chemistry with Sasha was really fucking cool, and the whole confusion of Bianca played off pretty well and pretty smart. But now it just got stupid when they made him a team, and they went the classic route of let's make them a team, but then let's make sure that they start sparring with each other, and we'll just take it from there. So, yeah, lazy booking, lazy build on that part. I still think she should have won the Women's Royal Rumble. You know what? I need a black woman. I needed a black woman to win this shit this year. I'm not even going to fucking lie. And I needed it to be fucking Bianca Belair. And that's just that. I'm not even going to fucking lie. Racism? Hell yeah, it is.
You said it. I didn't. I'm just gonna keep it like that.
If they bring it back Hulk Hogan, I told niggas, if they bring it back Hulk Hogan, I'm watching WrestleMania. I'm only watching talent that involves people of color. That's it. I'm only watching black talent and Mustafa Ali and Roman Reigns. That's it. I ain't watching no white people unless they're involved in the match with a black person. That's it. But the whole white match, I'm skipping it. I know Seth Rollins is technically Armenian, but I'm skipping his match with Cesaro. Fuck that shit. And shit, I forgot. In this recent tragedy with our Asian brothers and sisters, I guess I'll tune into a match with Nakamura if he's fighting a white guy too. But fuck Hogan. I cannot believe we were going to talk about that shit later. We're going to talk about that shit now. How tone deaf these motherfuckers are to bring this dude back. Now listen, if you watch this show and you follow us on Facebook and on Twitter, there's a lot of shit that I say fuck Hogan, and I mean that. My whole gripe is not even that much with what he said, even though what he said was really fucking terrible. And just so people understand, and people, who think he apologized, people who think he apologized when he really didn't. But just for those people who think that we should be forgiving for what he said, let me just remind you what he said. I mean, I'd rather, if she was going to fuck some nigger, I'd rather have her marry an 8-foot-tall nigger worth $100 million, like a basketball player. I guess we're all a little fucking racist. Fucking nigger. Now, how do you apologize for that? What do you say? I'm sorry that I'm a racist. I'm sorry that I admitted that I was a racist. I'm sorry that you heard me say that I'm a racist. I'm sorry that you saw me fucking my homeboy's wife while saying racist shit. Now, if you want to play blind man, go walk with the fucking shepherd. But me, my eyes are wide fucking open. And I can get over him saying that only because I guess we're all a little racist. And in my fucking mind, you were the devil yesterday, you're the devil today, and you'll be the devil tomorrow. All my cool white friends know I have no problem saying, nigga, you are the devil at the end of the fucking day. I love you, brother, but you are the devil. And if a race war breaks out tomorrow, I'm killing you first. You goddamn right I said that shit. A-Track Ball is out of his fucking mind. I can't be beating these mean fucking streets. I can't believe I just said all that shit. But no, on a serious tip, I don't get mad when I hear white celebrities or white people be racist. It's not some shit that I'm surprised by, you know? The shit that really pissed me off was the bullshit of the aftermath, the fake apology, the excuses, the nerve to say to the people in the back, be careful with what you say, because you never know who's listening. Basically, you only are sorry because you got caught. You're not sorry for anything. And they put this motherfucker in there with Titus O'Neil. The nigga who got suspended for touching Vince McMahon.
Isn't it ironic?
You touch me, you nigga, get the hell out of here and a $90,000 fine. And you're going to be hosting WrestleMania with Hogan.
It's funny, Track, and I'll say this because, you know, who am I to tell, like, the black delegation you should be forgiving and forgetting? No, if you don't like Hogan, then that's
listen, and as a brother, as our Puerto Rican cousins, you know, you can make that suggestion. White people do not get to fucking tell us who to fucking forgive and not to fucking forgive. I'm sorry. Can we just be clear about that? It's like me trying to tell us, even though I've come from a history of a culture of oppression, but it's still like me telling the Jew to get over the Holocaust. Like, nah, I don't get to tell them that shit.
No one has the right to tell any delegation on any subject. If you feel a certain way, that is your prerogative. That is your individual feeling. So you should respect that. Do we all agree? No.
I'll say this. If you are black and you forgive Hogan, I don't say turn your black heart. You're not a coon. I don't hold no ill will towards you. That's fine. Right. But if you try to fucking school me on some shit, then we have a problem. Even though you are black, we have a problem because now you're talking about shit where you're not seeing shit as a black man. Like, yo, dude, the motherfucker admitted he was a racist. He never really said he was sorry. Do not try to tell me to get over it now. All right, you forgive him. That's fine. I'm not. Like, what is this shit?
Let's put it into this context, and I'm not talking about Hogan. Let's just talk about this in real life. In real life, whether it's racial, whether it's anything, in the job world, in corporate America, in McDonald's, no matter what, sometimes you're going to work with people you don't like. So you're going to have to go with the realities. I got to pay bills. I got to support my kids. I got to support my wife, my mistress, or whatever the case may be. You're going to have to make that decision to work with people you don't like. And sometimes the person that you don't like might say racist shit, might have tried to intimidate you, might have tried to threaten you, but they haven't done anything. But you have to work with them. So, you know, as much as Hogan, you know, got caught, like you said, and rightfully so, he didn't say, I'm sorry. He tried to, you know, tail around what he said and try to make excuses for everything. You know,
let's not forget the fucking retweet. The fucking retweet where the motherfucker said Obama can say the N-word to keep his job, but Hogan has to lose it.
Again, this This is the problem for Hogan, and I'm not trying to defend him here. This is the problem with social media, YouTube, TikTok, an iPhone, iCloud. Everything is saved.
The nigga said, the people who don't forgive me just don't understand brotherhood. What the fuck is wrong with this nigga, man?
Oh no! I can actually, but I can understand what Hogan was trying to say. Change brotherhood to the hood talk for snitching. He was trying to say, stop snitching. That's what it was.
Listen, at the end of the day, man, I'm dead ass serious about WrestleMania. I'm gonna only be watching black talent. You know, listen, and let me just tell people something. Stop saying you're still gonna pay your money. No, I'm gonna fucking pirate stream this shit like I do everything fucking else. You think I'm gonna pay to see WrestleMania? Are you out of your fucking mind?
I'm actually very interested in Hogan and Titus hosting for one reason. I want to look at Titus's eyes. I want to look at his mannerisms. I just want to see whenever Hogan says something, just look at Titus like this. You know, like, he might have that eye, he might have that double eye look or whatever. It's gonna be funny to me.
The best thing that Titus could do for me, is the last segment that they're in, and he knows it's the last segment. Slap the living shit out that motherfucker and just drop the mic and walk the fuck off. Like, fuck it. I know you got a family to think of. Like, I hope you got somebody saved. But if Titus did that, I would get a fucking tattoo of that nigga on my back with him going like this. Hoorah. Titus would be my fucking hero for that. I mean, but we know that's not gonna happen, and we know that yes. Titus agreed to this, but it's not like this was some easy choice. Okay, the man works for the company.
That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. He don't want to fucking deal with the heat. I think there are some people who have said, "Fuck it, I'll deal with the shit no matter what. I'm not hosting nothing with that nigga." But I guess Titus is trying to show an example, trying to show that he's the bigger person. And I guess in this world or whatever, someone could say that's the most important. I saw what. So the motherfuckers on Wrestling Juggernauts, all right, with the exception of my man General Jerry, all you motherfuckers can eat a cock 2 times, yo, all right, because those motherfuckers, like straight up and down, listen, the gimmick, the character, A-Track Brown, I'm always trying to have a good time. I don't really try to take anything too seriously, especially on social media, but these motherfuckers was dead serious. I was really dead ass dealing with coons, bro. I really was. Like, I really was. One nigga had the nerve to say to me, and it's not like he was talking about you individually. I said, what did this nigga just say? I was like, yo! And I had to do a video response for the whole night. I had to read what Hogan said.
He was talking about you because you're not 8 foot tall and a millionaire. That's what
you're goddamn right. I'm like, you're right, brother. He wasn't just talking about me. He was talking about all of us, especially the niggas without money. So what the fuck is you talking about, dude? And this is the shit I was dealing with damn near the whole day on Sunday. I was going back and forth with jackasses. I mean, on Saturday, I was going back and forth with jackasses. I was at my freaking Afro Latino mini festival in the village after I bought my record. I'm trying to listen to the music, enjoy my culture. And meanwhile, I'm going back and forth with some nigga in Puerto Rico who's trying to tell me that I'm trying to tell him that he should just not accept Hogan's apology. Like, motherfucker, I don't give a fuck what you do. But you know what? This Hogan shit is taking up my fucking time. We gotta fucking. We got more shit to talk about, and the professor has a lot of shit to say. So, Q, keep on going with your analysis on this Fastlane pay-per-view, my brother.
Do you want to talk about the Intercontinental title match? Black Excellence.
Oh yes. We got to talk about that because I'm still loving this fucking gimmick that Apollo Crews has. I mean, it's almost like too little. Better late than never.
With it, like I said on the PWHustle Facebook fan page, I forget who said it. It was talking about, I think it was his name is Ashley Davis or something, or Davies. He talked about Apollo Crews. I just said it outright. This is his best run in WWE so far. This is his best gimmick. And he has been killing it in the promos in comparison to Big E, because I think there's a lot more confidence that he brings out to this Nigerian king character.
I'm tired of Big E crying. Like, nigga, stop crying. But go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm very impressed with Apollo Crews. And I had to watch the match again because of the ending. I thought it was a botched ending, but I think they was trying to do like these chain wrestling. But I think that I was understanding why they were trying to do the chain wrestling, and of course they're going to continue this. I don't think they're going to continue this to WrestleMania. I think they're just going to continue this to SmackDown, which I think is kind of like underwhelming to me. I could be wrong here, but I think it's going to go into this Friday SmackDown as like, to finally figure this shit out and, settle it once and for all. But, it could have been a longer match. I wish. But maybe if you thought it was a botch, I'll go with you, Track. But I thought they were trying to do a chain wrestling ending there, and it just kind of like looked a little bit confusing. That's all.
Well, if it looked confusing, it's because it was a botch. I mean,
No,
listen, the match to me was okay. You know, it wasn't outstanding. It was nothing that stood out. I didn't see anything that made me say wow, but I was just like, okay, cool. The Cruz character, like you said, is above right now. Big E's in promo wise and charisma. Even though Big E has charisma, he has charisma out the ass. So it's not, thank God he's not licking his hand and smacking his ass anymore. I mean, that's worse than 69 or somebody. But that's a whole other story.
Oh God, we're talking about this.
Who's doing 69? He does it way worse than a nigga licking his hair, slapping somebody's ass and giving the Bill Cosby eyes. So let's just be real on that one. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but hey, it's just worse in my opinion. Yeah, I as long as Biggie holds that title for a while, and it's obvious that when he does lose a title, it's because he's on his way to the world title. I'm okay with that. I think if anybody should be Roman Reigns right now, if not The Rock or Jimmy Uso, it should be Big E at some point. So that was that. What else we had?
And I guess we could talk about the return of the Fiend, Toxic Avenger, or Pizza the Hut, or how many variations? Oh, you had the
zombie. Yo, Vince McMahon is determined to get that character over, bro. Like, straight up and down. Yo, this shit, listen. I'm sure the people who...
Wait. Let me just say... Wait, Track. Let me just say this. In comparison to the debacle of doing that shit with Rey Mysterio and his eye, at least he looked burnt to a crisp with his face.
Yeah, yeah.
So they had no, you couldn't have the Fiend looking like 100% and no fucking skin or, no skin deterioration or no burnt marks. At least they did something consistent with that. So at least I'll go with that.
This would probably be a good time to bring the Abyss character in. That would probably make this a little bit more interesting. This shit, and I was going to say that I'm sure there are a lot of people who will probably say, who watched us in the past and stuff and keep up with our shit, will probably say, oh, if this was Impact, you would probably think it was good. Yeah, I would, because in Impact, it would be good. Number one, Alexa does not fit in this fucking role. Number two, this thing has been very badly done, especially as far as the camera work was concerned. A lot of that shit was fucking nauseating. There should have been shit where it should have been cinematic, and it was not. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing should have been a cinematic thing. It should have never been happening in the fucking ring. Okay, we all knew that he wasn't gonna.
Wait, did you not pop for that Street Fighter Hadouken move from Alexa Bliss? I did.
No. I popped because I laughed my fucking ass off, and I said, "You gotta be fucking kidding me here!" And I said, "This is where the cinematography shit comes in, because what Impact does, they take that out of the fucking ring. That shit like with Rosemary and Decay and Broken Matt Hardy, and even with certain segments with Sami Callihan and LAX, it was done out of the ring." It was done out of the ring. So when you would see some shit like a resurrection, at least it was done out of the ring or in the ring in a certain setting. You know what I'm saying? Like when Allie died. She died in the ring, but it wasn't in the Impact ring with Impact audience. It was a cinematic type shit. So they fucked up by not having that. So that's what made it bad. And I don't mind this dude having all these different characters. It's the mankind move. I have no problem with that. I have no issues with that. That's cool. I just have a problem with Randy Orton's bad acting, with Alexa Bliss's bad acting, and with the fact that this shit doesn't seem to go anywhere. And the fact that, again, I tell people, don't let the WWE dictate to you who you like and who you don't like. Now, if you're a Fiend fan and you've always been a Fiend fan, and you don't mind that they made him a loser, all power to you. But in this instance, I was somebody who was liking the Fiend based off what they were giving me. It wasn't like a Miz where they'll make him look like shit and I'll still be a Miz fan. I was going along with the ride. You had this nigga lose to a 54-year-old Jew in 2 minutes. Not that him being a Jew has anything to do with it. I just think him being a 54-year-old Jew is funny. But he lost in 2 minutes. And
peace was brought, there was peace in the Middle East because of that Jew win. That's what I'm just saying.
Yo, they history with that. That's for damn sure. And I don't understand how you're going to sell this. Like I said, if you're a Fiend fan, then fine. But even if you're a Fiend fan, you would have to know, like, wait a minute. Now you're really insulting me because he can do all this shit, but he can't beat Goldberg? You know how Eric Young will always be a comedy act to you?
Mm-hmm.
The Fiend will have always been the dude who lost to Goldberg in 2 minutes. And this is a nigga with powers. Okay? I could not imagine the Undertaker losing to anyone in 2 minutes, especially Goldberg. I can imagine a bad match, which I thought it was going to be, and I was right. But I never in a million years, 2 minutes? So you're going to try to repackage this guy and make me believe that I should be invested in him? And you're doing it with Randy Orton. Again. We already went down this road. We had the Trap House match, did we not? That was bad. Some people liked it. I didn't enjoy it. But at least it being, cinematic made sense. But this...
I'll
give this segment, Q, on the 1 to 5. Like, what did you give this segment? Honestly.
I'll retort back at least quickly with the way you said everything about the Fiend. I'll say everything about Eric Young. I don't give a shit about Violent by Design. I don't give a shit about what he has done in Impact since he came back. I have the same feeling, so I can't change your mind, just like you can't change my mind on Eric Young. So as far as the segment goes, I have a problem with intergender matches, especially with WWE now it wasn't
really intergender. Like, they didn't really.
No. But you have to understand there's a difference between, if you look at, let's say, the China years of intergender matches between this, it's night and day. It's not the same thing. So you can see that WWE is pigeonholed because they don't want to do anything physical against a woman. So the man ain't gonna do.
China at least was really fucking believable at, you think she can whip a dude's ass. That's the only woman where I could actually, where intergender matches where it didn't matter if I displayed my belief. I literally believe that China could have fucked the dude up. Okay,
right, but that's those years. China did some things. Sable did some things against dudes. So they at least gave them the opportunity to do something against men. They don't do it now because again, they're a publicly traded company, so you can't see. You're not gonna get the same.
She shot the nigga in the face with a fireball, so they had her do that. So,
but that's the only physical thing that she did. He didn't do nothing. But
listen, anyway, she's gonna take an RKO. I'm telling you, she's good. That's gonna happen. That's the payoff, huh?
She already did take an RKO.
She did when?
On Raw, weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I forgot all about that. So that's already happened anyway. But
yeah. I think this was one of your protests because of what not happening in the black delegation.
Yeah.
I have to say that. But if I give the segment from a 1 to 5 Meltzer rating, give it a 3. I think
that is very fucking generous. Because I gave that shit a -1, and I ain't talking about Brody Lee's son. May he rest in peace. I mean, Brody Lee, not his son. But this shit was just. This shit was.
It's a 3. It's not. It wasn't totally good. It was. I guess it was very predetermined that you knew that the Fiend is finally going to come out. That my expectation was that, so that's why I just gave it a 3. If he didn't come out and do nothing, I would have gave it a 2 because he didn't come out.
Right now, I said in the beginning, the only thing to make this better, because they're not going to stop using Alexa Bliss in this angle, add Abyss. Add Abyss on Randy Orton's side. Make him his dark force or whoever. Abyss knows how this shit can go down.
I don't think he wants to do anything physical. He's a producer. I don't think he wants to do anything.
You think they can't talk the man into being that character? He doesn't even have to really get physical, but bring him in. They have to bring someone in to have this to be somewhat good. It doesn't have to be scary to me to be good. I get that that's what they're trying to do. But if it none of the Rosemary shit, none of that scared me. But I got the point of it, and it was good. And if I was a kid, I would have been scared. If I was a kid, I wouldn't be scared of this shit at all. At all. I mean, with this pussy generation, I can understand some kids being scared of this shit. But not me, and not the way I raised my kid. And she thinks this shit is stupid.
The only thing that Randy Orton can do is bring in a woman like Nikki Cross. She hasn't been on TV.
I guess.
On Alexa Bliss and her up.
They can make her up and have him say, "Hey, I have Sister Abigail here. She's with me," or some shit like that. That might work. It should have been Nikki Cross all along. Nikki Cross should have been the one in that shit. That was her character. That wasn't Alexa Bliss's character. And if anything, if not Nikki Cross, what's her name? The one, the chick with the nice ass. Not Rose. The other chick. With the Riot Squad.
Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan would have been perfect. If Nikki or Liv Morgan would have been the perfect choice for this, but not Alexa Bliss. Now, it is true she has had a shitload of injuries, and if I'm not mistaken, she does have something fucking with her neck still, if I'm not mistaken. So if they wanted to put her in this to give her less time in the ring, I understand that. It's just not working. Not for me. It's not working. And for a lot of people just do. They think she's the worst part of this. She is the fucking. She is the Sofia Coppola of this shit. This is the Godfather 3, and she is Sofia Coppola. Because this is like the third fucking time they're in a fucking feud. So this is the Godfather 3, and she is the Sofia Coppola. So that's just it. Like I said, I just thought it's just terrible. They need to add shit to it. But we do have the main event, which did deliver, even though I did expect everything to happen. So let's just talk about that, Q. Because we got the New Japan Cup to talk about before we get out of here. So go ahead.
For all the people who say Roman can't wrestle or he's boring to y'all, I mean, this match just proved everything here. How he carried this match. You know, he told Daniel Bryan what to do, how he told the story. You know, Roman Reigns is God right now. I don't know. I mean, he's the God of wrestling right now. That's what it is. Every time I close my eyes and see God of wrestling, I see Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, and it just works for me. I just like, yes, it's right. It's what's right in the world of professional wrestling. That's what it is. Anyway.
I mean, listen, it's definitely it's working. It is working for him. The heel turn and everything.
No, wait. You've been saying it's boring. Come on, you be honest.
No. I'm saying he can be boring. Not in the ring when he starts talking. But I'm not going to deny that it's working. It is working. No matter how I feel about it, this shit is working.
It's working because I watched the Talking Smack, and Paul Heyman really exemplifies it and puts an exclamation point on everything that Roman Reigns is when he says Reigns.
And I get why he's talking more than Paul Lee should be talking for him. I get that because eventually this is going to turn into a face run, and he ain't going to have Paul Lee, and he's going to have to talk. But he's going to have to remember to keep that same laid-back swagger, and they're going to have to remember to give him something interesting to say, or let him just say things that he wants. This is still scripted. This is not Roman Reigns unscripted. This is probably why sometimes, 75% of the time, his promos still bore me. But the swag is different. The charisma is different. The way he carries himself is different, and it's great. His in-ring work has completely shifted from his heel style, from his face style to a heel style. He doesn't do anything too different except for the guillotine choke, but he does them more now with a little bit more impact and a little bit more force. You know,
yeah, he's more aggressive, very aggressive now.
You can see the aggressiveness. You can hear it in his voice. You know, the way and his taunting. His taunting is that shit. His taunting is on point. And do you know why? Because his taunting is not scripted. That shit is real. He's saying whatever the fuck he wants when he's taunting, and that shit is awesome. So that goes perfect example of what I'm saying. If you don't understand my point, at least try to see where I'm coming from when I'm talking about something being written and him just going off the cuff and saying something. You know, and bring it to the fact that it's in the middle of the action. You know, we had this match. Roman came out and did his thing, man. He did. He kept. I wouldn't say he carried it though. It was clear who carried this match. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. Now,
man, you don't think a Samoan, the black man, Samoan, Italian can't carry a match?
I mean, he can. He just didn't carry this one. This was all Brian. He carried this shit with his cousin, but not this time. And he's most likely going to carry the match with Edge. Well, it's most likely going to end up a triple threat. So we don't know who's going to carry that match at all, or who's going to really call that. But
and I think
I would say that
you have to call out the WWE's fuck up what they did on the online. I think they announced Daniel Bryan might
go to the
Hall of Fame, and then they had to edit that shit out. Like, oh, we didn't mean that. I thought it was his Hall of Fame picks, but they said Hall of Fame inductee, so they fucked up on that one. So they ruined their own surprise.
Shad Gaspard needs to go in. He needs to win that Warrior Award, whatever it is. They need to give that to him. And I would even go as far as to say, fuck it, man. Brody Lee belongs in there too. I don't care. Just
supposed to get Warrior Awards for what they've done.
You don't even have to have him there or his family. You could just say we're honorary putting him in here. Or you don't want to seem cruel. So yeah, you can have his wife. Don't have -1 because he's technically under contract. But you could have his wife say something via satellite or pre-recorded or something like that. I'm just saying that. But yeah, so the main event, it was good. It was a solid main event. I knew that Jey Uso was going to get involved. I knew that Daniel Bryan was going to mistakenly hit Edge with. I didn't know it was going to be with a chair. I thought he was going to hit him with a running knee. And I knew that Edge was going to cost Daniel Bryan this match. We all saw that coming. So it was all about how it was going to be executed that would, at least satisfy us. And I was satisfied to the point where I was like, okay, cool. This was not bad. The match was good. Daniel Bryan took that nigga to school. That was like Goldberg and William Regal without the actual shooting. Daniel Bryan just took Roman Reigns to school, and Roman Reigns handled it like a G. Now, Roman Reigns did tap. It didn't matter because the ref didn't see it. But Daniel Bryan kept his promise. He said he was going to make Reigns tap, and he did. So that's paramount, which is most likely what's going to be used of him being added in this match, because what are they going to do with Roman Reigns? I mean, with Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania? Have him fight Jey Uso? I don't think so. So overall thoughts, Q, on the pay-per-view.
Fastlane did his things with certain storylines to continue into WrestleMania. So, I'm not going to give it a grade because I don't think it deserves a grade. So I'll just say I was just satisfied enough with the matches I was interested in to go into WrestleMania. It was Sunday Night Raw or Sunday Night SmackDown, like you said, a super showdown.
I will agree with you. And I will also say that I will not grade this. This was a filler. This was a lead-in into WrestleMania. Now, as far as lead-in is concerned, with the exception of the Bianca Belair tag match, everything in here was a good lead-in for WrestleMania. With the and Bobby Lashley's match. If you want to count Drew winning as a hype for that match with Bobby Lashley at Mania, then I can give you that too, because that's really what it was. It was to get Drew over and a little bit more, status up there. So when he faces Lashley, you'd be a little bit more, hype for it after what happened there.
Are you upset that Bobby Lashley wasn't on the pay-per-view, or I thought you'd be happy that the black man was getting the night off, so this way he can rest?
At first, no. I'll tell you what. At first, I was upset, and then somebody said something. I completely changed my opinion. They said Bobby Lashley shouldn't waste his time on this fucking pay-per-view, and I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. Where was my head? So I got upset at first, but I said, you know what? Nah, fuck that. This is Fastlane, and so going in, like I said, I'm with you. No grade. It was just a good lead-in for Mania. Mania is not, like I said, the whole Hogan thing took the air out of it anyway. Not that I was getting hyped for it at all. Bobby Lashley versus Drew. Now, the Masked Man believes that Drew's winning. I don't. I think Bobby Lashley is retaining. I think they're going all in with Bobby Lashley up until SummerSlam, where he might face Brock Lesnar. And I think if he faces Brock Lesnar, he needs to win that too. I'm sorry, and I'm a Brock Lesnar fan, and this ain't got nothing to do with the delegation or the culture. This has to do with me as a fan. This is Bobby Lashley's time. This is his fucking time to rule. They need to go with this. You got your fucking big man. You don't got to worry about him talking. You got MVP. And actually, since the man has had the title, has he had a bad promo? I mean, let's look at it. The last promo was a little bit shaky. It wasn't the best, but he hasn't really had a bad promo. He's comfortable. He's comfortable. He's got some work to do, but he's getting a little bit more and more comfortable. They gave the man this new fucking elaborate entrance, even though they took away the fucking titles from Cedric and Shelton. I don't know why they did that for the New Day again. No, I mean, if they get them back at WrestleMania, that's good. But Bobby Lashley keeps that title, goes to SummerSlam, hopefully fights Brock, beats Brock, loses it to someone else. I don't know, but the rest of the year belongs to Lashley, and they need to fucking understand that. And you need to understand what they got. And yeah, the ratings have gone up a little bit, So
I think you're going a little bit too far to the future, because I don't know where Brock Lesnar's head is at. Let's be honest here. You know where Brock Lesnar's head is at with it. So I go with this way.
You really see Brock Lesnar refusing to lose to Lashley? Like, do you really see that?
No, it's not about refusing. Is he motivated to have that one match with Bobby? That's what it is. I'm not looking at it from the standpoint.
He wanted that MMA fight, and I don't think that's ever going to happen. So this is the best that he has. He said that he would regret never getting in the octagon with Bobby. So I think this is the only thing he can do. And I think that these two probably do have a respect for each other, being given their pedigree and whatnot. And, you can sell Lashley. I don't want to hear this shit that this is not a guy who doesn't – this nigga got shot in a bank robbery, okay? You guys, the dude's got stories. And we're not talking about some stupid shit that he gave him with his sisters and one of the members of the Acclaim dressed in drag. That's so fucked up. When I found that out, I was like, oh, my God. Yeah, what's the nigga's name?
I have no idea, but I know who you're talking about from the Acclaim. I don't know. But I'll go with the immediate future. I'm just going with
Matt Caster, that's his name.
Matt Caster. But I think Drew and Bobby will main event night 1 of WrestleMania. I still think Roman's match is going to main event night 2. So if it's night 1, you got
close the show on one of them nights. I know that.
I think it's night 1, and I think you're right. I think Bobby Lashley will retain. I don't see. I mean, if Drew did not lose it against Randy Orton months ago, I would have said Drew would have won at WrestleMania. But since he beat Randy Orton months ago, I don't see Drew winning it. I see Drew maybe. I see this feud going even past WrestleMania. I think they can do like. See, that's the thing. I see them fighting till SummerSlam more than I see Bobby and Brock. I think if you could do this right, that's just me. I think you could have a 3-match pay-per-view kind of thing, where they trade off the title, and that third match would be SummerSlam in some way, shape, or form.
Well, here's the unfortunate thing. I've seen these two go at it in Impact, and they fucking tore it the fuck down. It's not going to be the same thing here. I don't give a shit what you think. We all know WWE doesn't let people go out like they would in another promotion. Like, we're not going to see, what we saw. Well, we might see pieces of it. We might see. I guarantee you, Drew gives Bobby Lashley like a Celtic cross on the steps or some shit like that. I guarantee you that will happen, but it won't be as brutal. It won't be as long as the matches they had in Impact. But I'm feeling that I'm gonna fucking enjoy that shit. So, with that being said, with Fastlane all talked about in a nutshell and our non-grades and just enjoying the fact that it was just a nice build-up of Mania, we come to the fucking other pay-per-view, or you want to say event of the weekend, which was the New Japan Cup final. The New Japan Cup this year was not as good as the ones before. It's very hard to top shit every year. They didn't really do that this year, but it was still good to me. My favorite matches throughout the whole thing was fucking Kenta and Shingo. Those motherfuckers, and yeah, I'm a fucking fan, but them niggas almost killed each other, bro. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, this shit is brutal. But we had the final. We had Will Osprey versus Shingo. And if you thought for one single solitary minute that Shingo was going to win, well, then I have some beachfront property to sell you in Arizona. The match was, of course, off the fucking hook. These two go at it, and they let loose like most people in New Japan do. But Will Osprey and this new character that he has, and the psychology he brought into that match, I thought was really fucking good. Really fucking good is the best I can say. I won't say excellent. I won't say amazing. Really fucking good to awesome, I would say, as far as the psychology brought to the match. Because when it comes to a New Japan match, you're not going to really see botches like that. So what you really have to concentrate on is...
But don't you wish that maybe Osprey... I mean, sometimes that he kind of like forgets... I understand what you're talking about, the psychology, but sometimes he forgets that he's supposed to be meaner, but he just keeps going with those like high spots too much. I think if he slows down a little bit...
I thought you was going to say that shit. So I had this already prepared. Like Roman Reigns, Osprey has changed up his style. Now, overall, Osprey is Osprey, so he's always gonna, have he's gonna have his high fly, flippity flip, whatever it is.
There's certain times you could do that, and then certain.
His overall moveset isn't the same though. It really isn't. Now the flips come in with his evasions. A lot of his evasions and counters come in with flips, but now it's a little bit more harder. It's almost like It's almost like he's saying "fuck you" to Okada with the way he wrestles, because he's kind of emulating Okada when he's straight, shooting. When he's throwing in them stiff things, because this thing with him and Okada is still not over. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, but when I watched the match, that's what I saw. That's what I've been seeing from Will Ospreay. I'm still not too crazy about this Great O'Khan guy. I like his faction. Jeff Cobb. How can you go wrong? I would have fucking recruited him too. I used to say he's like Rhino, but that's kind of insulting. He's way above Rhino. He's like a hybrid of Rhino and Taz and a little bit of a Louis Spicoli in there.
I think he's the Samoan Michael Elgin with a good reputation.
That's enough. You can go there too, but he still does better suplexes and hits harder than Michael Elgin. I'd be afraid to go in with either one of those motherfuckers. But if they said I'm going in with Jeff Cobb, I'm definitely taking 2 nervous shits before I fucking hit that ring. So, like I said, I enjoyed the match. The right and predictable person won, which was Will Ospreay. We know he's going to choose to face Okada. I forgot where that's going to happen. I think it's Genesis. Is it Genesis Okuda? I think so. But the big thing that came out of that was what, Q? Let them know.
Was it the 6 point something earthquake? I forgot the rating.
There were 2 things that happened, but yeah, the one thing that happened in that match, but one thing that happened overall was the fucking earthquake. I remember seeing that shit, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on? Get Kota Ibushi out of there. Get our champion protected." Jay White was looking at the fucking lights like, "What the fuck?" Like, Jay White was really fucking scared. He was like, "Wait a minute, what the fuck is that?" And then, but Kota was like, "All right, calm down. Everybody calm down." Kota was in that crowd. I'm like, "Kota, get the fuck out of there." I thought,
Jay White looked like a white boy in a horror movie that was about to die. He didn't know what to do.
I say this in jest, even though with the recent tragedy, but I said, either this is an earthquake or Godzilla's back in Japan. And the fact that King Kong versus Godzilla is about to come out, I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? But, it wasn't an earthquake. They continued the show. And this wasn't the final. This was the night before. So this is the semifinals. So they continued the show, but I think there was some really fucked up shit that happened outside of that arena. I think there was some damage to a lot of houses. I don't know the death toll or anything like that, but it was really
that arena is earthquake proof, so that's why they could do that. They just
so that was the safest place to fucking be. Shit.
Yeah.
God damn it. Fucking Japanese know what the fuck they doing. Like, fuck everybody else. Nothing happens to this fucking stadium. That's American style thinking right there too. Always the dollars. Always the dollars.
That's why
the other shit. The other shit that happened that's causing a little bit of controversy because of the allegations that was made against Osprey was what happened?
Is that controversy? What he did the storyline. He won the match. He's obsessed with Ibushi. He wants the title, and it's more important than his relationship with Bea Priestley, and he RKO'd Bea Priestley. So what's the problem here? Please acknowledge that to me.
People,
controversy.
The fact that he was accused of getting this woman blackballed, and who had accused a friend of his of rape. I have no idea if the friend admitted this or not. If so, you guys in the comment section, let us know. Because my whole deal when I first read this story was why I can't get mad at him if that's in fact what he did do. Because if somebody accused you or Billy Ray, I know you guys are not rapists. And if somebody did that to you, I'd be like, nah, get this bitch out of here. My peoples ain't doing no shit like that. She's lying. But he denied it. And the promotion that, she said this happened said, no, it didn't happen. So, that's the only thing I can go on. But that's what a lot of people are talking about. That has people upset, some people upset or looking at this kind of cringy or looking at it angrily, whatever. I really don't give a shit.
It's not even about what he did with Bea Priestley.
So
it's about he won the New Japan Cup. New Japan is saying forget about the past transgressions or allegations. They're moving forward. That's the controversy.
You can't move forward when you have the fucking RKO. It's fucking chick. This nigga's I turn off New Japan. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? It doesn't. That's not something you should play off of in wrestling. That's not a storyline for real life. You should try to switch up on, man. But it's the New Japan Cup. It is what it is.
Japan has had Minoru Suzuki fuck up Asuka. How can this be? How could this be controversial?
Minoru Suzuki is not accused of enabling a rapist. So,
It's like the shit out of Asuka. Come on, Trash.
It would look worse. Listen, I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying I understand. That's all I'm saying. I get how it can rub people the wrong way. So, with that being said, we're gonna get out of here, and we hope that you've enjoyed the show.
Let me ask you one question. Since you're the New Japan guy, what's his name on the PWS fan page? Dion, is it Dion or something? Shout out to Dion. Deion Sanders, and he was talking about David Finlay having a great run in the New Japan Cup. So I asked him, and maybe I ask you because you'll see. Do you see him getting a push to there's no IC titles. So I guess it's the open weight titles, or where's he going with this since he had a good showing?
He's. I don't know if they're gonna make him a singles person. Right now, he has the Impact Tag Team titles with Juice Robinson. So he's pretty much, if anything, he's going to be put in a level a little bit above Juice, depending on how he does with the fans. But I'm glad to see that. First of all, he needed to change his look, and I'm glad he did. I always felt that he shouldn't, that plain look he had. Well, he was still somewhat of a young lion. So now that he's ventured out, he's got a new look and everything, and I think right now it's working for him. And he definitely had a great showing. You could say he was, a top 3 candidate for MVP of the cup. He fucking beat Jay White, which was fucking unexpected. So, and it was a really good fucking match. So I think that Juice, Finn, I don't know if he's going to go above a certain plateau. Maybe they might give him the U.S. title. The open heavyweight title, I don't see him getting that. But the U.S. title, he might. I can see him probably getting that. But for right now, I think at least for the next year or so, he's still going to be a tag team guy.
All right, cool. Just wanted to see where your head was at on that one.
No problem. Let them know where they can find you, brother.
You can find me on the Podbeans at PWHustle Networks at Podbean.com, where I host the nostalgic PWR, or Pro Wrestling Reflection podcast, with myself and the Tommy Wonder. And find me on the Twitter at PWHustle, PROF. That's PWHustle Prof.
And you can find me right here on YouTube doing reactions to The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, WandaVision, Cobra Kai, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I'm gonna have to fucking do now, as well as fucking The Walking Dead. I am not fucking reacting to that shit. I'm not. Maybe I'll react like this.
That's all we need.
That's it.
10 seconds.
Well, I'm not even wasting my time with that bullshit. But yo, straight up and down. 8-Track Dastardly, TRAC, the number 8. And do not forget to fucking like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification button. Join the PW Hustle Facebook group if you are a comic fan, if you are a wrestling fan, if you are a fucking fan of trolling people, if you know for a fucking fact that you can't be beat in these mean streets, and you sign up to the PW Hustle channel. To the PW Hustle Facebook group. You subscribe to the PW Hustle channel. You follow Puff on Twitter. You follow me on Twitter. Hashtag, we can't be beat in these mean streets. That is the professor. I am H. Brown. That's Mayhem with the 9 lives. Shout outs to the Masked Man and Billy Ray and Michael Davis and Big Ray and all y'all, Jeff Lipman, Stephen Pena, Deion Sanders, Ashley Davies, all our peoples, all our hustleites. Shout out to you, and we'll see you next time on the PW Hustle, and hopefully the Masked Man will grace us with his presence. We out of here, bitches. Stop Asian hate.